Hey, Kevin and Elle back with you on SportsCenter. That is a countdown because mañana, the NBA trade deadline, we're about over 20 hours from now, 3 p.m. Eastern. Who's making moves? Who's getting moved? You know who's had his name thrown around quite a bit? Kyle Lowry. Sixers make sense, right? They need some shooting. Lowry is from Philly, but the Heat are also reportedly interested in Lowry, although Woj says both teams have shown restraint and how far they'll go to get a deal done for the current Raptor. We are gearing up for SportsCenter with Stephen A. Smith at the top of the hour here on ESPN. For now, he's going to join us here. What does the addition, Stephen A., of Kyle Lowry to either the Heat or the Sixers do for each respective team?
Nothing. Not as far as I'm concerned. And that's not to knock Kyle Lowry because he's a champion. He can ball, and we know what he brings to the table. But if you are the Miami Heat, I'm thinking, okay, you're an upgrade from Goran Dragic, but that's not going to be enough, in my estimation, for them to come out of the East again. Now, I don't feel so. And in the case of the Philadelphia 76ers, we could talk about them needing shooting all we want to. But if you add Kyle Lowry, you ultimately take the ball out of Ben Simmons' hands. And how is that going to work for you when offensively he's challenged because he refuses to shoot perimeter shots, let alone hit them? So because that's the reality of your situation, it's not that Kyle Lowry can't play. It's not that he's not a plus because he's a leader. He's tough-minded. He can play some defense. He's a champion. We all know that. But in terms of how their personnel is constructed, I don't think he propels either Miami nor Philadelphia to the NBA Finals. And that's why I would say nothing.
Okay, we're going to see the Sixers in action tomorrow night against the Lakers, who'll be looking to avoid their 4th straight loss. All is clearly not well in LA with LeBron and AD both sidelined indefinitely with injury. But Charles Barkley thinks the Lakers' issues may run a bit deeper than just the injury report. Here's what he said on Get Up today.
Are they in trouble? Yes, they're in trouble. But they do have a really huge advantage. With no fans in the building, even if they start the first round of the playoffs on the road, it won't be like the old home court advantage. They could drop to 6, 7, maybe even 8 in the next in 2 weeks. It really doesn't matter. I think they're 3rd or 4th right now. They're going to be they're probably not going to win a game in the next couple of weeks. I haven't seen the schedule, but without AD and LeBron, it's going to be hard for them to win any games.
And that's totally fair, Stephen A., right? I mean, LeBron and AD would not be 2 of the best players in the world if it was that easy to win without them. So I understand some of the panic right now, but where is this panic coming from in general for the Lakers?
Well, the panic's coming from the fact that Anthony Davis, we don't know when he's going to be back. We anticipate that LeBron James will ultimately be back, whether it's 3 weeks to a month. Who cares? Ultimately, as long as he gets back with a few games left in the regular season and he's healthy, he'll be ready to go. He's utilizing this as rest, as far as I'm concerned, not to say that he's faking an injury or anything like that, because I wouldn't accuse him of such a thing. But I definitely believe that LeBron James is expected to be ready. Anybody that knows his history knows that you can anticipate he'll be ready. The question mark is Anthony Davis. Will he be ready? Because we saw him aggravate his Achilles. And when you look at it from that perspective, that calf area, that Achilles area, that's a very dangerous situation. Eerily similar to what transpired with Kevin Durant in the playoffs. And he came back in the finals a couple of years ago. And we all know what happened in that regard. So in that reality, you look at the Los Angeles Lakers without LeBron, without Anthony Davis, and you surmise what Charles Barkley surmised. He wasn't breaking any news there. Thank goodness we weren't relying on him to do so. The Lakers are not going a damn place without LeBron and Anthony Davis. Without the both of them, the Los Angeles Lakers are gone in the 2nd round. If one of them is gone, with both of them being gone, they won't even get out of the 1st round. Everybody knows that. It's that simple.
I'm interested, though. Can you sort of respond to what he said specifically about the home court advantage thing? Because even if they do start allowing fans in the stands, it still doesn't seem like it would give anyone an advantage at this point.
It's not going to give most teams. I mean, when you talk about the Los Angeles Lakers, maybe not so. But if you're in Utah, you got to go to Utah, and they're allowing fans in at 50% capacity, 75% capacity. That could work in their favor. What about the Mile High City with that altitude? That could work into their favor. Portland, they've got a rabid fan base. That could work to their advantage. Nobody's anticipating that 100% capacity will be allowed in arenas. But anywhere from 50 to 75%, I think come playoff time, particularly as the month of June wanes into July, I definitely think there are are people that are anticipating you're going to have fans in attendance in upwards of 50 to 75% because now there's a vaccine. There's 3 of them out there at the very least in Pfizer, Moderna, and Johnson & Johnson. So you've got all of that going on, and people are going to look at it from that perspective. And if you're talking about having to travel to those locales to play a basketball game, you better have all your ducks in a row. Otherwise, you're going to go home early. And I think everybody knows that. Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming, sports, and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.